footwell guys, for the Land Rover guys. These are the Bulkhead, one of the bulkhead mounting brackets to stop the bulkhead and to adjust it vertical back and forth using these guys. Now we move the bulkhead, the footwells at least, the footwells are forwards about 1 3/4 to 2 inches further forwards, and we don't need these holes because we're using a Defender steering column and Defender / Range Rover steering box in the front, so we're not using a series steering box, so we don't need that hole. So what we're going to do is the footwell is further forwards, so we are going to basically cut on an angle the same as the footwell and then up here, and then mount a flat bar down here in the angle to match the footwell and to match these 2 hole slots right here. So moving this edge back in here, so we can still use them in the same way with the new footwell there. And so that's what we're going to do next, get these brackets modified or welded up. This one's got some real chunky repairs, so we'll fix the repairs, grind them all up, make them fit the new firewall, and give them a sandblast and get them ready for galvanizing, the galvanizing list. Let's go down and we'll show you on the truck real quick and measure it up and mark it out and start modifying them. They should be quick and easy to do as well. Alright guys, I'll tell you what, it's that sandblaster I've got's worth its weight in gold. We cleaned the bracket up. We'll give it one last blast, get it 100% clean once we've done all the modifications, but right now we've cleaned it up somewhat, and so we can see what we're doing. So down here is 3 holes. Say we've moved the bulkhead forwards about 2 inches. Well, not the whole bulkhead, as I said, just the footwell. So we're going to reuse this bracket. It's going to mount basically here in the original bolt holes. Now we're lining the back 2 holes up of the bracket on the front 2 holes of the chassis. So that's going to really help a lot, because that'll easy to use that as markings to figure out how far back we need to be. So this bolts to here, tilts the firewall back. I believe the firewall right now is tilted forwards a little bit. We're going to have to do a lot of stuff in the next week or 2 before we send this off to galvanizing, because not only we're going to figure the firewall out vertical, that also bounces off the box in the back, and the box in the back we've got to trim the supports underneath, because this chassis was built to take a roll cage. So we've got to trim the metal supports underneath that box on the front cross member ones, to let the box sit down flat where it's meant to be on top of the roll bar mounts. And then once we have that set, then we can play around with the firewall, with the doors, to get the doors lined up with the box correctly, and that's all to do with this as well. And what else? Oh, and then we're going to take the steel cross member supports off from underneath the box. We're going to take the heads off the rivets, knock the rivets out, clean them up, sandblast them, add them to the list of galvanizing, so when they come back we'll re-rivet them back in, all galvanized up, so we never have to worry about, well, barely ever have to worry about rust on this thing ever again. Alright, I'm going to get this all drawn up and then trim it down to where we need it and re-weld it. So a little bit of back and forth there. What we've got it now trimmed down to look like that, and I cut the edge off, which was originally about there. So yeah, we've gained like 2.5 inches extra footwell. Now that moves across to here. Yeah, about 2.5 inches extra. And as you can see, it's a pretty damn good fit. Like that. So now we're just going to weld these on, left and right, and we've done it to fill in where that hole is for the used to be the big hole there for the series steering box. So we just do a little fancy wiggle and that fills in just the edge of there. So we got that ready for welding. We'll tack that in, then we'll grab the TIG and then we'll TIG that into place. Finish it off with a little bit of flat down here to make it all match. And bulkhead, the new bulkhead positioning brackets. G'day guys, so we've got these brackets fabric cobbled up here now, and looks like after the modifications on them, looks like we've gained about 2 3/8 footwell, extra leg room or foot room in the footwells. So that's a bonus, particularly when you're 6 foot plus like me. So we've got these brackets done up now, they look great. Moving on to the next video, I'm going to keep this one short. Log arch is done. These brackets are done. Next step is just above here, we're going to put the steering column in and figure all that out, drill a hole through and change the mounting bracket and basically set the steering up through the bulkhead here because we're using a Defender column, and then we need a bracket right here for the bottom end of that to mount to. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to use this bracket here and continue to modify that to accept the platform in which that bottom bearing of the Defender steering column will sit on. And so until then, like and subscribe, tell all your mates to come watch the videos if they're of any interest or entertaining for you. Appreciate you coming along. Remember to hit the bell for notifications, and we'll see you next time.